and to really enjoy it and to say, you know what, that is worth it. I'd rather spend $200 on a great meal, a fantastic meal, than spend $70 on a mediocre meal, or $50, or even $20 on a mediocre meal. There's nothing worse than an awful meal, right? You go out, you want to be treated, you're not preparing it yourself, and it's stale, it's leftover, it's gross. There's nothing worse than that, man. What are some of your favorite restaurants to go out to? I don't know about you guys, but I love to eat out. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. There's just nothing like having an amazing meal. What is the most money you've ever spent in a restaurant? And how many people were there? If you've never been to a really nice restaurant, you need to go to a really nice restaurant and spend $500. I know not everybody can do that. $500 is a lot, but that's going all out. That's dessert, that's drinks if you like to drink, and that's for 2 people. And that would be what I consider a very, very nice dinner at a very nice restaurant. Something special, something memorable. Now, if you don't drink, if you don't have dessert, that number could be a lot lower. That number could be $250 or even $175. But my point is, go all out, splurge, treat yourself, have fun, and don't sweat the money. And I know not everybody's in a position to do this, but if you are in a position to do it, absolutely do it. It is not wasteful. I still remember a lot of my best meals out at restaurants from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago even. And I'm lucky I grew up going out to nice restaurants. Not fine dining Michelin star restaurants, but normal restaurants and good steakhouses, and occasionally, later on as I got older, Michelin restaurants. There's just nothing like going to a great restaurant, putting something nice on, feeling good about yourself. It's not to be pretentious, it's to feel good about yourself. Put on something nice, get to the restaurant, have a drink at the bar, have a seat, have dinner, experience excellent service. The service alone, in my opinion, I love great service. I don't mean in a subservient way. I mean somebody that has good conversation, that's funny, that is genuine, that is fun to be around. And when you're at a good restaurant and you've got a team of people like that serving you, it's an amazing experience. The chef comes out to talk to you, the waiters, the maitre d' comes out. It's just something I think everybody should experience. And I think a lot of people are turned off of because of what society says, that you have to be a multi-millionaire, you have to be a doctor or a lawyer or a businessman to enjoy some of the finer things in life. And that's not true, man. That is not true. It's worth it to save up for. If that $500 is a lot of money to you and you have to save for it, there's no shame in that, man. No shame in that. It's just and actually, if you're somebody that hasn't experienced the finer things, if you haven't traveled much, or you haven't stayed in a nice hotel or eaten at a good restaurant, the first thing you should do is eat at a really good restaurant and experience that. Anybody that works hard deserves it. I don't care what they do. I have fond memories of eating at Peter Luger Steakhouse in Brooklyn, Smith & Walensky on 3rd Avenue, Joe's Stone Crab in DC, the Capitol Grill. I just had a great meal at Galazio, a Greek restaurant in La Plata, Maryland. Even Ruth Chris. I know Ruth Chris gets a lot of hate, but I've had good meals there. Uncle Julio's Rio Grande. There are a bunch around the DC area. There's one in Ballston, the original one I used to go to. We used to go there all the time. Good food, fresh food, just a great experience, puts you in a great mood. I just don't understand people that never go out to eat. Going out and being served is fantastic, man. Please go out and eat at a nice restaurant. Set a goal for yourself. Get out of your comfort zone and go out to that nice restaurant and spend. The reason I say $500 is because you can go. When my brother and I went to Occidental in March, I believe that's around what we spent. We got out of there for around $500, including the tip, and we had several drinks. We had some really good whiskey. We had appetizers, we got oysters and crab, and we each got a big steak, or I got a prime rib actually, and my brother got I think he got a New York strip. And of course you're gonna have a big tip with a bill like that. But it was awesome, it was amazing. They've recently redone the place. It's an old restaurant, but it's taken over new ownership and they relaunched it, and man, just fantastic. If you're new to this, do your homework. Do your research. You got the internet. Go to Instagram. Go to the restaurant's Instagram, their Facebook, and see what other people are saying about it. Look at the recent photos. See what people are wearing to the restaurant. See what they're ordering. And always take any review online, any Yelp review with a grain of salt, because people are just nasty and they leave nasty reviews, unfortunately. Any of you guys that are young and single, do this by yourself. And I made a video on this before, which I'll link at the end of this video. Go out by yourself, sit at the bar, experience these restaurants, because it's a wonderful feeling. It's a lot of fun. Then when it's time to take that special date to the nice restaurant, you'll be comfortable and you'll be confident about it. What are some of your favorite restaurants to go out to? Where do you like to go if you live in DC or if you live in New York City, like I did for a decade? Where do you like to go out to eat? I ate out all the time in New York City. Not fine dining all the time, obviously. Sometimes you're just grabbing lunch at a deli. You're grabbing something quick, or of course pizza. We ate pizza out all the time in New York City because, hey, why not? It's everywhere and it's cheap. But where do you like to eat? When spending a lot of money, you always want to do your research. Try to get recommendations from friends if you can. Do a lot of research online. If you get to the restaurant and something is off, something doesn't feel right, just keep your cool. You never know. Things could turn around and nobody's perfect. I remember we showed up at a restaurant. The hostess was flustered. We didn't know what was wrong with her. And it turns out there was somebody that showed up on the property and was walking around nude, and she just had to call the police and deal with this crazy woman. But she was a little out of it. She came over to our table later and apologized. But you never know. Give people the benefit of the doubt if you can. But the restaurant industry is a tough business, and these restaurants come and go. They say one of the harder things you can do is go into the restaurant business. So if there's a local restaurant around and you like the people there, you like the food there, support that restaurant. Support that restaurant, because we need more good restaurants in this world. We have enough fast food restaurants. And I'm not above eating fast food. I like my McDonald's French fries here and there. I'll do it every once in a while. Everything in moderation, right? But think about how boring it would be if all we had were chain restaurants and fast food restaurants. And yeah, there are some good chain restaurants. Capitol Grill I believe that's a chain, that's good. I like Ruth Chris, like I was saying earlier. I've had good experiences there. It's not quite on the tier as some of the other steakhouses, but hey, it's a good place. It's a great start if you've never been anywhere nice. That's what I would say, or never been anywhere really nice. Another one of my favorites in DC shut down, BLT, a fantastic steakhouse, French steakhouse. I think it was on I Street. And now you have Le Grand Boucherie from New York. You have Minetta Tavern now, which I still need to get over to those eventually. I'm not super rich, so I can't just do this every weekend, you know, but those two places are on my list. Filomena in DC, I want to get over there for Italian. If you go to a fantastic restaurant and you have good drinks, you have a nice appetizer, you have a great steak or an amazing entree. If you go to an amazing restaurant and you spend a lot of money and you go all out, whatever that number is for you, I just said 500 because that's what the number is for me. And you go all out, and if you have a great time, if it's the best meal you've ever had, you leave pumped, and it's a fantastic way to spend $500. And I know some of you are going to say, well, I could do an all-inclusive trip, you know, or whatever, or a cheap cruise, but that's not the same. That's cheap. That's being cheap. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you go the other way and you go all out, it's much, much more satisfying to spend more money and to really enjoy it and to say, you know what, that is worth it. I'd rather spend $200 on a great meal, a fantastic meal, than spend $70 on a mediocre meal, or $50, or even $20 on a mediocre meal. There's nothing worse than an awful meal, right? You go out, you want to be treated, you're not preparing it yourself, and it's stale, it's leftover, it's gross, There's nothing worse than that, man. The only problem is once you get used to eating out at nice restaurants, it's hard to go back down once you get used to the finer things. You get spoiled when you eat out at nice restaurants frequently, and then you go somewhere that's average and it's just not the same. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.